नहीं पानी की तरफ नहीं जा रहे
नहीं पानी के अंदर से गिर नहीं जाइए जाल के साथ गिर गया फिर
यार भाई कुछ करो भाई फिर
वो पानी में जा रहा है 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 ओए
What was it? I don't know. What is it? Follow it. Okay. Look. The one in there. All right.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. We have to go.
In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed his entire family in their home in Amityville, New York, shortly after the Lutz family bought the house at a bargain price. However, soon after moving in, they began experiencing terrifying events, strange odors, unexplained noises, and ghostly apparitions. After just 28 days, they fled, leaving everything behind. Their story became famous through the book and movie The Amityville Horror, fueling the mystery and terror surrounding the cursed house.
This is probably one of the scariest videos that you'll ever see.
Isang babae naman ang takot na takot nang makunan ng kanilang CCTV ang isang Serbian dancing lady na nakapasok ito sa kanilang bahay. Mapapansin sa CCTV na ito na tila iika-ika ang Serbian dancing lady. Maya-maya lamang ay pumwesto na ito at sumayaw, sabay harap sa kamera.
This is gonna scare you though. I don't know.
No, do it. I love those stories.
This is a real story. So lately, I've been feeling kind of not myself.
What?
Yeah, and you know I'm religious. I'm very religious. So I decided to go to church on a Wednesday.
Oh, okay, that's sick.
So I went to church, and this is gonna sound scary to you, but
yeah,
when it came time for like communion, you know, when you get the bread, the Eucharist.
Yeah.
This is kind of fucked to say, but like I was walking toward the priest, and I had this urge to laugh. Yeah, fam.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, like I had this urge to like burst out laughing. I was scared, right? I just kept praying and then, you know what I mean, locked it away like.
Yeah.
And then one night I had a dream. It was like I heard someone screaming. I was in the living room and I heard someone screaming for their life. They were like screaming like, get me out! Like screaming. This is exactly what I heard in my head. You're gonna get scared. Okay. This is exactly what I heard in my head.
We haunt the mines of Colorado. Hello, my name is Urban. I am a Tommy Knocker. We are the spirits of miners that passed away while working in the mine. We are not evil, but don't play around with us. We can be very mischievous. During the gold rush, mines began digging into the mountains of Colorado. Thousands of men journeyed to the west in hopes of striking gold and getting rich. However, most mines are extremely dangerous, and we would try to warn them of a potential collapse or dangerous gas coming. But since we are spirits, it was tough to warn the miners of the dangers ahead. We would knock on the walls, and it would echo through the mine. This was our first warning, but some miners thought we were guiding them to gold and would start digging towards their doom. We would then blow out their candles and turn off their headlights. Unfortunately, some didn't take our warnings.
You don't know the dark truth behind Peppa Pig. Hello, I'm Peppa, and this is my story. I was never a healthy child. My mom struggled with addictions that started before I was born, which gave me several birth defects. I was born with both eyes on one side of my face. I couldn't walk or do almost anything for myself. My dad hated me for it. He blamed me for him never being able to do anything in his life besides taking care of me. He hid me in the house and never let me leave. He thought it was only fair that I didn't get to have a life either. He became very mentally ill after being in the house with me. For several years, one day he snapped and wanted to make me normal. He tried to make an eye hole for me on the correct side of my face. That night I passed, and he didn't tell anyone what happened. After 6 months of my brother Georgie and my mum asking what happened to me, he snapped again. He took himself and both of them to the afterlife with me.
This is a real sign located in Davao, Philippines, and there is a scary urban legend that surrounds it. As you look at the sign, there is a silhouette of 2 children waving and an eerie instruction stating, "Please wave back." For years, an online debate has raged on. Some locals argue that this sign serves a practical purpose, a gentle reminder that a school lies nearby. Its intention is to urge motorists to slow down and acknowledge any children they may encounter in or around the vicinity. However, some eyewitnesses denies the presence of any school in the vicinity, and they insist that there are wandering spirits of children in the area. It is believed that these apparitions are not pleased when their kindly waves are not returned by people passing their way. There are no reports on what might happen when you don't wave back, but it's probably better to wave back for your own safety, or you might now know that they might haunt you for the rest of your life.
This is the true story of the nun. The Vatican has held the head of a possessed nun for over 300 years. In 1742, a nun named Josephine Rosenthal appeared pregnant. Josephine became frustrated when she claimed that she had not had relations with a man. As a result of this, tests were performed which determined that she was still a virgin, and it was determined that she was a divine case. Josephine lost her life when she gave birth to a baby girl named Maria Rosenthal. Maria became the object of ridicule by nuns and priests because she was a hermaphrodite, and people perceived her as a demonic being for having such a condition. In view of this, church leaders came up with a plan to take Maria's life at the same age as Jesus at 33 years old, to make her death seem divine. This plan reached Mary's ears, so she decided to take her own life. After that, the priests ordered her head to be removed and embalmed in a box with a cross. After her death, Maria began to give paranormal apparitions in the convent.
911, what's your emergency?
Can't find my mom.
It's okay, sweetheart. I'll help you. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Anna.
Hi, Anna. Do you know where you are right now? Are you at home?
I'm at home. My hair's got in the hairbrush.
I understand. We'll find your mom. I promise. Is your dad there?
I don't have a dad.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody else?
Just me and my kids.
Oh, okay. Well, just stay on the phone with me, okay?
Okay.
Somebody's gonna be there really soon. Maybe I can keep you company. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Oh, I love purple.
I have a purple dress.
Oh, wow. I bet it's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're almost there. Welcome. They're almost there.
तो भाई अभी जो आपने ये फोटो देखी है ना, बहुत से लोगों को लग रहा होगा कि ये एक फेक फोटो है, ये एक एडिटिंग है, लेकिन आज जो मैं वीडियो लेकर के आया हूँ वो भाई सच में आपके होश उड़ाने वाली है। तो भाई अकेले हो या फिर अगर कमज़ोर दिल के हो तो अभी चले जाओ स्वाइप करके, बाद में मुझे मत बोलना। एक ऐसी सीसीटीवी फुटेज सामने आई है जिसमें सेम ऐसा ही एक जानवर एक आदमी को खाने को हो रहा है, उसके पीछे पड़ गया है बिल्कुल। मैं आपको वीडियो दिखा रहा हूँ और भाई ध्यान से देखना इसको। भाई देखा आपने? भाई कमेंट करके जरूर बताना कि आपके हिसाब से था कौन।
There was a woman named Mary who had a 19-month-old baby girl. She loved her baby deeply and couldn't wait for her to say her first words. One night when Mary was cooking dinner, her husband called her out into the living room. He told her that their daughter was trying to say something. Mary was so excited and watched her daughter try and say something. After the baby mumbled for a bit, she said, "Mommy dies." Mary looked at her husband in complete confusion, thinking she heard the baby wrong. But by the confused look on his face too, he heard the same exact thing. Mary and her husband then laughed it off and went on with their night. The next morning when Mary was on her way to work, she got into a fatal car accident. She was then rushed to the hospital where her husband and daughter were waiting for her. When Mary's husband and her daughter found out the room Mary was in, they went in. Her husband was devastated and didn't know what to do. He couldn't imagine living life without his wife. But suddenly, Mary's daughter pointed at her and said, "Mommy dies." Seconds later, Mary's heartbeat stopped as she died from her injuries from the car crash.
I've always thought that my daughter was my grandmother reincarnated. I gave her a picture of her today, and you guys tell me what you think. This is the first time showing Arrow this picture. I want to see how she reacts. Who is that? She's touching her own face. What the fuck? Is that you? Arrow, who is that? Why were you just touching your own face? Is that yours?
Should we put this away?
Who is that, Arrow?
Today marks the 1-year anniversary of when my granny and grandpa went away without saying goodbye. My parents told me that they were both doing just fine and that they missed me and my little brother very much. They allegedly went off for a vacation, but they never ended up coming back. I was sitting in my room coloring when I remembered that it was exactly a year ago that they left. But right as I started missing them all over again, I heard my parents crying downstairs. I knew they had to be sad as well. I wanted to console them, so I left my room and headed downstairs to see them in the living room. Yet, when I was halfway down the stairs, I was curious and I knew they wouldn't talk about grown-up stuff if they knew I was there, so I stopped and listened.
Oh, but how are we going to break the news to the poor little girl?
I don't know, my darling. Maybe she's old enough now for the talk.
Absolutely not. Surely her sweet, innocent heart cannot take such... Oh, it just isn't right.
I'm so sorry it has to be this way. If there was any other way I could change this cruel world we live in, you know I would.
Yes, I know you would.
In fact, I've decided they could take me next.
No, I can't live without you. Besides, you know they take us by pairs. You know what we have to do.
No, honey, please don't say it.
We must. It's the only way we can survive. We have to give up George and Peppa. For us.
No. That would be a selfish thing to do. To let those monsters sacrifice them before us.
You stupid old hog. We can make new piglets if we want to, but we have to be alive.
True scary story. Okiku, who was accused of stealing and was killed. Himeji Castle, a magnificent and ancient fortress in Japan, hides a dark and terrifying secret. Many years ago, a young servant named Okiku worked in the castle. She was beautiful and kind, but she overheard a dangerous plot to betray the lord of the castle. To silence her, the treacherous samurai accused her of stealing one of 10 precious plates. The samurai hid one of the valuable plates and accused Okiku of losing it, despite her desperate search. She couldn't find the missing plate. The samurai tortured her relentlessly, each day more brutal than the last. In the end, they killed her in cold blood and threw her body into a deep, dark well in the castle's courtyard. Since that night, the castle has been haunted by Okiku's restless spirit. At midnight, she rises from the well, her ghostly figure drenched and pale. She begins to count the plates in a sorrowful, whispering voice. 1, 2, 3, she counts, her voice growing louder and more desperate with each number. When she reaches 9, she realizes the 10th plate is missing, and she lets out a blood-curdling scream that chills the very bones of anyone who hears it. Visitors and workers at Himeji Castle often report seeing her spectral figure wandering the castle grounds with empty, hollow eyes. They hear her mournful counting and the horrifying scream that follows. The well where she was thrown is still called Okiku's Well, and it serves as a grim reminder of her tragic fate.